Howdy everybody, so nice of y'all to drop by and visit for another video. What up, what up, what up? So today I wanted to talk about animated short films. More specifically, my animated short films. And oh geez, it's gonna be rough for me to show you guys because, okay, first of all, I feel like all the videos that I put out, I'm not too nervous to show because I like all of my work and, I want to be authentic and I want to show you guys all the works I do, whether they're good or bad. Because there's always going to be bad on the journey, and I feel like people rarely show it. And, I want to show that, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But, I can't blame people either because they have a good reason. And that's because it's embarrassing. And I'm a little embarrassed to show y'all these shorts. But you know what? It's whatever. So let's talk a little bit about my college experience. Okay, so I received my bachelor's in 2D animation, and in getting this degree, I had to take various levels of animation classes. The first class that you have to take is, of course, beginner's animation. The noob class, pretty much. In this class, you just learn the basics of animation. You learn the infamous bouncing ball lesson, which of course teaches you many of the principles of animation like wash and stretch, timing, so on and so forth. And you just learn the basic fundamentals, and as the class progresses, you start to learn a bit of character animations like expressions, takes, and stuff like that. Then at the very end of the class, you have to make a short animation. And when I say short, I mean like short, like no more than 20 seconds, or maybe like more than 20 seconds, but no more than a minute. It's just got to be like super simple, short and sweet animation. And you know what? Oh, geez. Looking back at this, I cannot believe I turned this in for a grade. Like an actual collegiate grade. I cannot believe I cannot even believe I passed the class. Like, what the heck? and I've had animation experience before this. Like, I've posted videos on here before I was in college. But alas, this is what I turned in for the end of semester animated short. So yeah, watch this. Was that amazing? Did you like that? Was that cool? Okay, so I had this idea of like an animated intro where like this kid is falling asleep in his science class. He dreams he woke up, and I made an awful crowd scene, and I should have never thought I could animate a crowd scene, but he does that and then he skates, and then I didn't know how to do a repeating background, and he kick flips, and then there's a mirror shot of a wheel and the skateboard wheel, and then I hate it. Oh my gosh. But you know what? We can chalk it up to just me being a beginner, right? Right? Beginner in college, right? Anyways, yeah, that was my first animated short. Like, my first collegiate animated short. But anyways, after you take beginner's animation, you then take the intermediate animation class. In the intermediate animation class, you start off by doing harder exercises that really make you have to apply the principles of animation, and it also gets you in the habit of drawing a lot more than what I assume, people are typically comfortable with. So again, we did start off with, a bouncing ball exercise, except this time there was a piece of cloth attached, which is a bit more difficult. And for a starting assignment, you kind of already have to think, like, you have to remember like what you learned from the bouncing ball, which shouldn't be too hard, but then you have to think of the properties of, cloth and fabric and how that would move with the ball attached and everything. And then, it was a cool exercise. I think I did good, but it is a little bit harder. It's more intermediate. But yeah, then we moved on to more character animations like walk cycles, run cycles, staggered timing animations, characters pitching and throwing a ball so that you can demonstrate anticipation and power. We have head turns to help with consistent and solid drawing, characters laughing with different timings, and then once again, at the end of the semester, another short animation. Except this time, it had to be a bit longer and a bit more of like a concise story or a bit of like a gag or something. It couldn't just be like an example of motion. There had to be something more there, which includes having to like now storyboard and then map out your process and maybe write like a small script and stuff. And so I had no idea what to do. And then rather come up with something for my story like I did last time with my animated intro, and I should have done something, relating to like my passion, I decided to make just a little funny sketch of me as a cowboy. Okay, and this time I'll show you and I won't tell. I'll wait till the end. And oh gosh, you know what? I did a lot better with this one, and this one still gets a laugh out of me every now and then, but now that I can draw better, I really wish I could go back and fix this or just render it a bit better. And again, I am a little bit embarrassed by this one, so y'all, please don't remember me for this one. This was literally 2 years ago, okay? Anyways, all right, roll the clip. Gosh, what a guy, huh? Cool. Whoa. Okay, problems with this one. Everything. Ponchos, hard to draw. Horses, extremely hard to draw. I don't even know why I included the horse. I just should have. Anyway, horse, hard to draw. Women, impossible. That was, I could not for the life of me draw a woman. It was hard. Anyways. Anywho, that's what I came up with for my second year animated short. That's what I turned in for the intermediate class. And by some miracle, I passed again. Now, after taking the intermediate class, you then move on to your third year advanced animation course. And if I remember correctly, I believe we started off with 2 walk cycles, which, it's the big boy class, so you got to get used to a lot of drawing by this point. But anyways, not only were they walk cycles, they were quadruped walk cycles, meaning creatures with 4 legs. I actually have a YouTube video right here that you can check out of me actually animating these projects. But anyways, if that wasn't tough enough, right after this assignment, we had to do quadruped runs. So right after finishing up these 2 animations, we literally just did we had to repeat the same assignment pretty much, except instead of them, walking, it had to be 2 4-legged animals running. And oh my god, I am remembering it right now, and I drew so much that month. I drew a lot. And keep in mind, I had 3 other classes on top of this. I had like a design class, and then I had like a After Effects class, and then I had something else, and it's a lot. It's a lot. If you're thinking of doing animation school, just know that, it was totally worth it, and it's completely doable. I did it, but it's a lot. But then after we turned in, those assignments, we did the quadruped walks, we did the runs. We did slow down a bit. We did a quick lesson where we learned about smear frames, and this was possibly one of my most favorite animations I've ever done. And actually, I also did a video on this one too. You can go watch me animate that right here. But yeah, that was one of my, favorite lessons. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then later on in the course, after we finished that, we started practicing lip sync. And this time I was determined to use characters from the universe that I'm currently creating. And I synced it up to some audio that I found really interesting from The Last of Us. And gosh, I like the idea of this one, except once again, my drawing skills are not there. And I'm upset, and I don't like it. But you know what? My animations were getting slightly more different, in a good way compared to my other ones. They were looking a little bit better, they're looking a bit nicer. And now I know what you're thinking. Did we end the semester with another animated short? Well, you'd be surprised, but we didn't. No, for our final, we actually had to take part in the 11-second club challenge. Did I say that right? Animation challenge? It's the 11-second club. You can Google it. I also have a YouTube video on this one if you want to see it. But yeah, it's for those who haven't heard of it, it's basically a website where they post a random audio bit and you have 1 month to animate to it. You can do 3D animation, you could do 2D animation, whichever way you want. You could do whatever. But yeah, you have a month to animate, and we did that for our final. That was our final project for school. And yeah, here's the clip if you haven't seen it before.
Hi. I made macaroni if you want some.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I was starving and you took forever, so I wanted to make food.
Now, again, the art is not where I want it to be. It's so bad. And I think, you know what? I think the animation itself did get slightly better. And I also had a friend help me with this, and she let me record her for reference, and I do think it helped a lot. But yeah, this is my final for my advanced animation class. And theoretically, I now had all the skills to join the big boy classes, which are known as Production Studio 1 and 2. And I remember when I first started my college journey, when I started, majoring in 2D animation, these classes, I was scared. I was very scared of these classes because I know that they're a lot of work. It's a lot of, actually, that's just really it. It just boils down to a lot of work. And I was really terrified about these classes because, they take up so much time. And I was a commuter student. I spent 2 hours of my day commuting, across state lines. And I was just like, oh my God, this class is going to be like the death of me on top of, the other classes I had to take. But fortunately, I did not have to take any other classes with this one. So that was kind of a blessing. This was my only class, but gosh dang, these production studio classes, they're so intimidating. But anyways, let's talk about them. So in Production Studio 1, you spend the majority of your time in that class writing and coming up with ideas for a story. Eventually, you're going to pitch your idea to the class, and after you go over it with them, kind of find like plot holes and stuff and like problems, and you kind of troubleshoot it with the class, you then get to decide which one of those stories you want to turn into an animated short that's between 3 to 4 minutes in length. Then you start producing concept art and coming up with different looks for the characters, the backgrounds. You create colored keys and all that kind of stuff. And then once you have a basic idea of the art and you have like a great handle on the story, the next half of the class, I'm not even joking, like literally the next half of the class is just thumbnailing all the important key moments in the script, and then eventually you'll start storyboarding your story, which is basically taking the script and then translating it into something visual. So you take all of those thumbnails and kind of flesh them out a bit more. And then you have to break down and organize all of your story beats into shots and scenes. You have to think about what all the characters are saying in these moments, and you have to think about what camera movements are going on and how the characters are framed and how consistent they are. And then most importantly, what actions are going to take place. Like what's actually happening in the scene. Why are you choosing to tell this story visually, Then, once you finish boarding your story, you make a rough animatic to get the timing down, and just so you can kind of, more or less gauge how long your short is going to be, to see if you're over time, under time, if it's, doable, not doable, things like that. And then once you're done with the animatic, you can finally turn all of that stuff in, and then our professor, very kindly, makes a production tracker with all the information that you get. And all the production tracker really is basically a Google Sheet that has all of your shots and helps you keep track of your progress as you start working on your story. And that's pretty much Studio 1. Then comes next semester, which is Production Studio 2. And let me tell you, Production Studio 2, literally, you hit the ground running. You hit the ground running and you just animate the whole semester. You have your script lined up, you have your storyboard, your animatic, everything's timed up, everything's planned out on a tracker, and you just animate the whole semester. You draw, you do your backgrounds, you get your sound design, you animate everything, the whole shebang. You literally spend the whole semester on your short, and here and there you do, help, give your friends critiques, stuff like that. And we did have every now and then a couple of like helpful sessions that like, where we look for jobs in the industry, and like, they help us, our professor helps us find like careers and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, that semester is literally just time given to you to work on your short. And it's really laid back, actually. It's pretty laid back, but it's also like extremely stressful. And yeah. And so with that said, the next video that I upload will be my animated short, because that's what I did in that class. And like I've said in previous videos, maybe, I couldn't post my animated short because I sent it off to festivals, and festivals require that your short is not open to the public. Weird rule, I don't know. But you know what? It's been a year now and festival season is over. I didn't get my short didn't get into any of the festivals, and I don't think it will because the quality isn't that good. But you know what? I still want to share it anyways. I'm happy with it, even if it isn't the best. I still think it tells a pretty solid story. And so, yeah, I'm excited to share it with y'all. So, you know, thanks for visiting. I can't wait to upload it. And I'll probably actually upload it shortly after this video. So I want to link it. I want to link it above or some, I don't know. I'll do some YouTube magic to, you know, show you my short. But yeah, if you could just please go give it a watch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the like core animation classes I had to take throughout my tenure of college. And yeah, it was really cool. I learned a lot. And honestly, looking back from my first short to this next one that you guys are about to see, there is a lot of improvement. I did put in a lot of work, and it shows. It shows. I could actually compose a story, and I can actually tell a story, even if the animation is pretty janky and stuff. But I mean, all that. I actually have another video in the works too, where I critique my short film. So don't think I'm, you know, getting a big old head. You know, I'm not getting a big head over this thing, but you know, stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for my short, which I'm gonna upload soon. So yeah, thank you guys again. I really appreciate y'all being here for another video. And all right, y'all take care. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. All right, see you later, homies.